Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, May 30th. A very wet weather pattern continues here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Looks like we'll have significant rainfall Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday going into the early part of next week. With that potential for significant rainfall, flash flooding may very well become an increasing concern over the next several days. Probably today, Wednesday, will be the most rain-free day of the next several. There is some drizzle and fog around the I-95 corridor region, especially around New York City this morning. And only isolated showers are likely during the next several hours. Rain threat will increase tonight in the overnight hours, maybe even a thunderstorm. And there could be downpours at any time, really, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have the combination of tropical moisture, partly as a result of the remains of Tropical Storm Alberto, which we'll focus in on over the next couple of minutes. That has helped to fuel the atmosphere in the eastern half of the nation with very, very moist air. And several disturbances will roll from the Midwest into the Mid-Atlantic region. The combination of those upper-level features, those upper-level waves of energy and tropical moisture should indeed result in some soaking rainfall for D.C., Philadelphia, New York City over the next several days. Let's start off with a good product that comes out of the University of Wisconsin, the CIMMS division. It shows the total precipitable water, basically kind of like a water vapor imagery loop here. The thing I want to point out is all this area in red and orange represents very moist air, and it is coming out of the very southern part of the Caribbean Sea, up across the Gulf of Mexico, and into the eastern half of the nation. Just a very tropical air mass in place now here in the eastern half of the nation, and any kind of upper level disturbances could set off downpours in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, anywhere in the Mid-Atlantic region over the next several days. And indeed, we do have numerous upper level disturbances that we'll talk about over the next couple of minutes, but lots of moisture just flowing northward out of the Caribbean Sea into the eastern part of the nation. Well, as far as the latest loop of the radar from NOAA's website, the Mosaic website of NOAA, an interesting feature here showing up right here. Look at this spin in the radar echoes right here. That is what remains of Tropical Storm Alberto. It moved northward from the Gulf of Mexico into the Tennessee Valley, and now this morning into the Midwest here, dumping some appreciable rainfall in that particular part of the Midwest. Again, here in the Mid-Atlantic region, not much rainfall right now. Again, only isolated showers for much of today, Wednesday, some drizzle and fog around this morning. This enhanced area of showers and embedded thunderstorms will kind of translate to the east, and our chances for rain will really increase overnight tonight, especially during the day on Thursday. But again, a nice feature showing up here on radar, the remains of Tropical Storm Alberto. Well, let's take a look at last night's 6E GFS model run. First, we'll look at the 500 millibar height anomalies. First of all, large ridging, an area of ridging here over the southeastern part of Canada, extending into the northeastern part of the U.S. Look at this little circle right here. That represents a wave in the upper part of the atmosphere associated with the remains of Tropical Storm Alberto. We saw the radar echoes a moment ago spinning right over this particular area. Now, let's move forward in 6-hour increments, and we'll watch as multiple disturbances come our way from the Midwest, Great Lakes into the Mid-Atlantic region. Here we go. First of all, the reflection in the upper part of the atmosphere kind of fades away in terms of Alberto, but it has done its damage in terms of really moistening up the atmosphere throughout the eastern third of the nation. Here we go, moving forward here now. One thing that starts to show up here by tomorrow, little trough showing up here over the Midwest. Again, these are 500 millibar height anomalies. Here you have intensification of that trough now as we head into the day on Friday. And with all this tropical moisture in place, any kind of upper level disturbance, short wave of energy could really set off some downpours because the atmosphere is so moist. And eventually, as we get into the weekend here, we have a pretty sharp trough showing up here by the time we get into the weekend, and even an upper level low starting to show up here. So again, the combination of those upper level disturbances with this tropical moisture entrenched in the eastern third of the nation will result in soaking rainfall Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Let's keep moving forward here. And here we go into the weekend. Again, upper level trough showing up here, upper level low by the time we get into Sunday. And again, with all this tropical moisture in place, this spells some trouble in terms of the potential for flash flooding type tropical downpours any one of these days, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday. Well, let's now look at the surface forecast maps from the 6Z GFS model run. Two main players here. High pressure over Maine. Low pressure, that's a reflection of the remains of Tropical Storm Alberto. Winds flow counterclockwise around lows, clockwise around highs, and that is resulting in a broad area of south to north flow of air. Deep tropical moisture riding northward from the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico into the eastern third of the nation. Let's move forward here in 6-hour increments. Again, not much going on today in the immediate I-95 corridor region of the Mid-Atlantic from D.C. to New York City. Again, some drizzle and fog around, lots of clouds, only isolated showers. Maybe late in the day a little bit more than isolated in the D.C. metro region. But basically, in the overnight hours, that's when our rain chances will start to really increase, especially after midnight. Maybe a thunderstorm or two. Then we get into the day on Thursday, and pretty more widespread showers will develop for the day on Thursday. Maybe some heavy rain, downpours included, maybe a thunderstorm or two. That same unsettled pattern will continue Friday afternoon, Friday evening, and even some signs here from the GFS model that surface low pressure will form by the time we get to the weekend. That will enhance the chances for some significant rainfall on Saturday and Sunday. In fact, GFS is really dumping out a lot of rain, especially over the D.C. metro region this weekend. But with the combination of the tropical moisture in place, upper level disturbances, and by the weekend maybe a surface low pressure area, we could have some soaking rainfall here. And again, really punching the D.C. area with some significant rainfall over the weekend is the 6C GFS model run. By the time we get into the end of the week and the early part of next week, that low shifts a little bit to the east. We're on the cooler side of the low. Sunday and Monday definitely look like cooler days in the I-95 corridor region compared to the next few days here. And the rain chances will probably continue through Sunday and may start to wind down on Monday, but a very wet period indeed, especially Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, in terms of total rainfall amounts, over the next 5 days, this is what NOAA is thinking. And again, they put kind of the heaviest area from south central Pennsylvania down across the D.C. metro region. That's largely a reflection of the GFS model, enhancing the precip in that area with that surface low pressure system over the weekend. That certainly could end up being a little bit farther to the north and east. The bottom line is soaking rainfall on the order of a few inches possible over the next 5 days, primarily Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And with that potential significant rainfall, we'll have to watch out for flash flooding because the grounds are already well saturated, and any kind of downpour could result in some flash flooding Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So stay tuned to VencoreWeather.com for any updates on the potential for flash flooding. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.